Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We are all George. In this stream, I believe I've uncovered a truth. The truth behind F2POOL'S Bitcoin dumping. Why they have started dumping massive amount of Bitcoin ever since January. Even now, there seems to be massive dumping. And they are definitely losing the war. This is what I've been saying. You can't win against the whole world. But I do believe there is another reason. And I'm going to share that with you guys. I'm going to connect the dots. I believe this is actually the real truth. Why they have been dumping Bitcoin. But it's surprising why they haven't shared. Maybe it's just really, really bad to. But anyways, you don't want to miss this video. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams every single day, 11 a.m., 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, sometimes a little late. Sometimes my internet messes up. Sometimes I'm getting a drink. And sometimes I'm just waiting for people to join. It's as simple as that. All right. So make sure you don't miss out on any of my streams. Hit that notification bell. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook. And let's get started. Let me change my screen here. Those of you guys already in the chat, welcome. Welcome all the Georges. All right. Bitcoin is at 51,500. You can see that it's doing very, very well. And it's creeping up to that 52,000 mark. Well, no, you guys don't see anything. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so now you can see Bitcoin's at 51,500. And it did touch 50,000. And that's fantastic because you could see now 50,000 turn support. As soon as Bitcoin hit 50,000, boom, right back up. And now, if you look at the indicators, they look fantastic. Fantastic. The 5 minutes nearing bottom. You look at the 1 hours turning up. The daily is turning up. So those of you guys that are technical guys, studying the charts all day long, you'll realize that it's actually looking pretty darn good. And a lot of people have been looking at this 52,000 mark. That's the point that Bitcoin fell from before. And even yesterday or this morning, right? So it looks like it wants to come back up. So the bulls are definitely taking over. I'm going to show you why. But there's definitely a lot more buying right now than selling. And this plays into what I've been talking about with F2Pool. That there is a mass amount of Bitcoins outflowing from F2Pool, right? Ever since January. Like, that is massive. That's so much Bitcoin outflowing for F2Pool. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And if you zoom into the hourly, you'll see that besides this one, which is a huge dump over here, you could see recently they have escalated. Escalated. There's a lot of Bitcoins that's outflowing. Even now, above 50,000, there's a ton. There's a ton out there, right? That's outflowing. So the number one question is, why is F2Pool doing this? Bitcoin futures expiration already expired. And that was last Friday, right? Now, there are a lot of derivatives that still exist, futures and options on various exchanges and so forth, right? But why did they continue to dump like this? It doesn't make any sense. It almost seems like they're desperate. Like they are very, very desperate to get rid of their Bitcoin. But why is that? So recently, there's been a few articles, news reports about some parts of China shutting down Bitcoin mining. So I decided to look. If you've never been to F2Pool's site, they actually tell you all their mining farms. And there are some outside of China. So there's one in Iceland. There's one in Russia. But primarily, most of their mining farms is in China. And I was looking at, where they were. Primarily, they're mostly in one region, but they do have a few in other regions. And guess what? Guess what? This just came out recently that Inner Mongolia is to shut down crypto mining because China is trying to go green in a lot of their provinces. And you know what? Inner Mongolia just happens to be one of the places. Oops, I'm screwing up my camera here. That's just too big now. Hold on. I screwed up my camera here. And I made it backwards. Oh boy. I don't know how to get that back. You guys might have to watch me backwards now. I don't know how to turn that back. All right, I'm gonna leave it there for now. I'll figure it out after Q&A. But anyways, Inner Mongolia is one of the places that's shutting down Bitcoin mining. And guess what? You have this mining farm that is in Inner Mongolia. And then you have this mining farm that's in Inner Mongolia. So you have 2 out of the 20-ish. That's 10% of the mining farms from F2Pool that's in Inner Mongolia. So that could explain why there is continuous sell-off of Bitcoin. Because they basically have to recoup these costs. That these are basically dead weight. They're not going to spend all the time to destroy the buildings and take out all the equipment. Well, they might take the miners out, but like everything else they spent, maybe. But that's not the extent of it. So I was looking at other articles. Here's another one. This is back in December about authorities shutting out electricity to Bitcoin miners in this other province, Yunnan. I don't even know how to say it. Guess what? There's 3 other mining farms from F2Pool that happens to be in that area. Here's one, and then here's one, and that doesn't even look very good. That just looks like it's in the middle of nowhere. So I don't know anyone that would want to utilize that mining farm. But anyways, and here's another one. So in total, the chat is going nuts. I don't know how to fix it. I have to try to fix it on the fly. But you guys are missing the story here. The story is there is 5 mining farms that belong to F2Pool that are in provinces that is basically that is anti-Bitcoin mining now. That people have to, I mean not people, but mining farms have to shut down and they have to get out of there. So that could explain. And all this started happening. It was announced in December. Right, this one was announced in December. This one just announced recently. So it could explain why F2Pool is doing this is because it's out of desperation that they actually have to, because they are screwed. They are screwed. And you know what? If you look at the rest of the mining farms they have, there's one other province, Sichuan, where they have like 5 or 6 mining farms at. And if that province gets shut down, meaning you can't run a mining farm there, that's going to be horrible for them. That's going to be horrible. So this could explain it. This could actually really be the reason why, the truth behind why F2Pool has been dumping and keeps dumping. And it could be that they are just simply dumping and looking for a right opportunity to sell. It could be as simple as that. Or there is some manipulation behind the scene that they want to keep Bitcoin at a certain price so that they can take advantage of the situation. So it could be that too. But it just seems like they are actually desperate now for survival. They are actually desperate to get out of those provinces. And if more provinces shut them out, then it could be a total disaster for them. They could just go belly up. So I think this is actually the real reason, the truth behind it all. Now, does this explain some of the anomalies that we have seen? You know, like why a huge sell-off right here just before a big, decline, stuff like that. Same thing here, big sell-off over here right as Bitcoin is going downwards, right? It doesn't explain those kind of things. But I think overall why they continue this dump is for this reason. So, yeah, there you go. Now, everyone is basically going crazy about my camera. I don't know if I can fix this. How do I fix this? Let me see. I'll get rid of it. Okay, let me add it back in. Bear with me here. Bear with me. How do I add it in? Video capture device. All right, let's name this camera. No, that didn't fix it. That didn't fix it. Let's see. Let's copy this one to over here. Oops. Oh, well, if I can't fix this, then you guys just have to live without seeing me. Yeah, I can't. I can't do it. It won't let me add it back. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I got it. I got it, guys. There we go. I got it. Now you guys can see my lovely face again. See, nice streams are fun. Nice streams are fun. All right. So there you go. So that's F2Pool. All right. And a lot of you guys tuned in for the truth. I think that's the truth. Now, why aren't they sharing this, right? Because I guess from a PR perspective, this looks horrible. F2Pool, I'm sure, has a lot of miners. There's a ton of investors. I'm sure there's a lot of things behind this. So they can't just flat out saying that we're desperate to sell off our Bitcoin because our mining farms are getting shut down one by one, right? So there's probably PR stuff they have to worry about. So that's the only reason why I guess that they haven't declared this at all. All right, moving on. What else is there besides F2Pool? Obviously, the Bitcoin market, the crypto market, is doing good. You know, right now there's a lot of things that's flying up. A lot of super chats. Kelly and Matthew, appreciate that. Also, I did miss one earlier. Hopefully, I could still find it. I know someone sent a super chat before. I apologize, it disappeared. But overall, I mean, like I've been saying, whatever is actually going on, whether or not they're trying to dump on the market, they're manipulating the market, or they're selling off because they're desperate, we as holders, we need to stay strong and we take advantage, and we need to not panic sell, dollar cost average, and hold for life-changing wealth. And that is still the name of the game, regardless, right? And today we're being rewarded. There's a lot of things, especially NFT plays. NFT projects are really, really hot today. A lot of the projects that's been down have recovered in a big way, right? And I do anticipate that things will get even better this week, because it does look like Bitcoin is utilizing that 50,000 as a support, which is very, very positive. The next mark we want to look at is if it could break this 52,000. We break this 52,000 mark, I think we can test and see that 58,000 real soon. All right. Now, lastly, there's a few other stories I want to mention. Number one is North America's first Bitcoin ETF now holds over 11,000 Bitcoins. This could be one of the reasons why that, despite the dumping from F2Pool, that why things continue to go up, because there's a lot of people that's buying this ETF. And the more people that buy the ETF, the more Bitcoins this fund company has to buy to replenish to be able to do this, right? And you could see that throughout February, they started slow, and then they really ramped up. And look at March. March really started jumping up, right? So you could see that, yeah, there's a lot of people, Wall Street, retail investors, average Joes, they're buying. They're buying Bitcoin. They're buying Bitcoin ETF. So this is probably one of the reasons why Bitcoin continues to go up. Besides that, there's a lot of other things that we can't even we don't even know about. We can't see. A lot of companies are buying behind the scenes, all quiet right now. But this is something that's measurable that we can definitely see. There's a lot of people buying Bitcoin ETFs, which means a lot of Bitcoins are being bought. So this is very promising. What else is there? Well, open source for students. Appreciate that. And we'll talk about BPro just a little bit in Q&A. Our buddy, Arthur Hayes, someone that used to brag on Twitter, and him and his buddy Ben Delio brag about how it's so easy to manipulate a market and this and that. Now, they're about to surrender. They realize there's just nowhere to run. So they're negotiating. Their lawyers are negotiating their surrender terms right now. So, yeah. So, two of the biggest question marks for crypto, you know, that's been ongoing for a long time is tether printing, whether or not it's backed, and then BitMEX and their shenanigans going behind the scenes, right? So that shenanigans for BitMEX, I think, has stopped because all the top guys are wanted right now, and they fled the scene. And you know what? I think they're not really pulling out the same shenanigans they did before. And then Tether also settled with the New York Attorney General's office, so they have to comply. They have to do an audit every quarter, stuff like that. They paid a fee, so I think they're legit too going forward. They can't do any shenanigans too. So I mean, two of the biggest question marks that a lot of crypto people, you know, have about like some kind of impending disaster, it seems like they all resolved. So that's good. All right, last two things. There's a lot of super chats. I hope I don't miss you guys because a lot of them disappear really quick. Lastly, I just saw Sushiswap in a sudden announcement. They have announced they are now live on Binance Smart Chain. Not only that, also on Phantom and also on XDAI. So they're operating on multiple chains. All of a sudden, I told you guys they were moving to Phantom, but this move to Binance Smart Chain is a big one. So as I've said before, Binance Smart Chain, don't sleep on them. Every single company that wants a quick transition right now is either moving to a layer 2 solution or going to Binance Smart Chain. Lastly, clarification on IRS. A lot of you guys have to worry about this, especially in the US. This is coming up. Tax season is coming up next month. So one of the big changes for 2020 is there's a big box that asks you, did you buy, sell, trade, receive, send any cryptocurrency? Now with some clarification, now you still have to double check because I don't know how legit this is, but it does seem like with some clarification, tax accounts have said if you simply bought crypto with fiat, let's say you bought some Bitcoin, you bought some Ethereum, right? And all you did was buy it and hold it. You did not trade it. You did not sell it. You did not do anything. You don't have to report that. That's according to this article and this tax expert. So I know the IRS is very, very, very anxious to grab as much data as they can about people that is involved with crypto. So that is something that you have to watch out for this year. Luckily, plug for my sponsor, you don't have to do that alone. A lot of you guys noticed I have a CryptoTrader.tax banner on my streams. So if you need some help, from tax experts, then go ahead and utilize a service that pulls up all your trades with all the exchanges that you guys are familiar with, even from exchanges that they don't support. You could just download a CSV and import in. I've been told by the CEO that they also give tax advice because obviously they need to know that. So if you guys are interested, their link is in my description. You get 20% off a report if you utilize my code. And every week they're giving out free reports. So if you guys want a free report, go ahead and sign up. You can win a free report. So this is coming up. This is coming up next month. No one wants to worry about taxes, but it is definitely something you can't ignore. All right. So now that I fixed my camera, I could do some Q&A with you guys. But first, let me answer all these super chats before they disappear. Let me go down. Okay. Joshua's asking about BPro. I think BPro is very promising. Definitely a very small cap. They have come up very, very far. And if you look at what they have, and you look at the team, it's actually pretty good. You got 3 young guys, ambitious guys. They're creating white label solution for DeFi, for esports, for tokenizing, staking. Basically, they're involved with some of the hottest things that's going on right now, and they have a white label solution. So Ultralow Cap, you could see $10 million, but I do think they have a lot of promise. What else is there? Kelly Matthew asks about Atom and Engine. I appreciate that. Cosmos, I think, is great, especially with Binance Smart Chain. They have not announced anything, but they can do something because Binance Smart Chain is built with Cosmos SDK and utilizing Tendermint. So there could be something going on where it's announced that all these chains built with Cosmos has interoperability with Binance Smart Chain. That would be huge. But anyways, they're legit. And Engine is legit too. I know today they pumped up and then they came back down a little bit, but overall they're still up. Yeah, they're still up a staggering 40%. And that's because they had a huge announcement this morning. They're in NFTs, and also they're coming out their own layer 2 solution, and they're coming out the new chain. So Engine is a good project. Nick asked, could all this correlate with miners being forced to save money to the upcoming Chinese crypto token if they liquidate sell BTC over supply issues or just crazy talk? There's a lot of things going on. You know, I don't know the major agenda here. I connected the dots. Obviously, there's mass outflow from F2Pool. Now, is that used for something else? Are they selling that to the CCP because anticipation of digital yuan that's about to release? I don't know. Are they simply selling to pay for operations to build new farms elsewhere? Maybe that costs a lot of money. Or are they doing something else that we don't know, right? Or is it the miners that's utilizing F2Pool, and who knows who they are? It could be the CCP themselves, or it could be other big players. They're doing it for the same reasons, right? So, I don't know. We got to connect the dots slowly. But I do feel like we're progressing here. We're getting a little bit farther. So we'll just have to see. TJ Mayer, appreciate that. What else is there? Missing a lot here. What are your thoughts on Kentucky passing mining-friendly legislation? I saw that. I don't know how many miners there are in the U.S., like in terms of large mining farms. But yeah, that's interesting. Kentucky of all places, right? I would figure it would be by, you know, somewhere with a waterfall or something like that, where you could get hydropower for really cheap. So I don't know. I don't know what I feel about that. Moving down. Okay. Hey George, what do you think about the price Ecomi gets listed on Uniswap? I don't know if getting on Uniswap is going to help it that much, but it should. It should, because right now the only thing holding this project back, I believe, is the exchange. I mean, the exchange is horrible. Bitforex and BitMEX. So no one goes on those exchanges. So if it gets on Uniswap, definitely better. If it gets on something better like KuCoin or Binance, it's definitely going to be better. But, you know, I looked at it more deeply this morning. Seems like legit they have some good partnerships, but I have to do a bigger deep dive and see if they're really that legit. Zilliqa, still good. I haven't heard much about them recently, but they still have their new roadmap. They're working towards their new updated mainnet, and they have a lot of stuff coming out. So, should I be nervous about Nervos? I still have not a chance to look at it, so I can't comment on it. Sally, thank you. Can you please show us Kraken inflow? Oh, wow. So I guess this is what you wanted me to see. So there's inflow of 7,676 Bitcoins. So that's a little concerning. That's a little concerning right there. I'm not going to lie. That's a lot of Bitcoins right there that inflew into Kraken. Is this from F2Pool? Quite possibly. Well, we'll have to see. Because once this came in, Bitcoin actually started going up. Could this actually be done for the reverse reasons, to be used to buy altcoins. It's unlikely, but we'll have to see. But thanks for bringing this up. This is potentially concerning, because we have seen it with BitMEX and Bitfinex, where a big in spike like this turned out to be not so good. Kraken, I believe they have leverage, but not as high as Bitfinex or BitMEX. So we just got to pay attention to it. Got to be careful. Thoughts on Theta? Very big gains today. I like Theta. I think Theta is a very good project. So no worries there. Man, I got so much here. So I'm trying not to miss anything. Sidecoin, decentralized cloud storage in general, I think it's okay, but decentralization for storage seems to be, I don't know, it's very, very crowded. There's so much, so I don't know. Sidecoin I never liked before. What do you think about AVAX after a massive dump? It seems okay. Could be pumped hard. That's not giving a good reason. Just because it dumps hard doesn't mean it could pump up hard in the future. Avalanche. Avalanche seems to have lost a lot of luster, to be honest. They just don't seem to have a lot going for them. And I could, you know what? Maybe I just haven't done enough research on them, because like the other blockchains, there seems to be just like so much news about what's coming, and I don't really hear anything about Avalanche, so can't say much about it. Israel says, with ICX maintaining strong holdout powers even with the BTC dump and having strong rebound, do you feel the release of IconFi and Hyundai Motor Securities deal may see pass after 2.0 release in March? Well, first of all, I didn't know any of those things were happening. So it makes sense, though, that they would get into DeFi, because that's what everyone is getting into. I guess we'll have to see. Icon is an old South Korean project. They were supposed to digitize everything in South Korea. I don't know if that actually happened. Probably not. They've been hanging around. But there's a lot of projects from South Korea now, so I don't know if they're still the leader in South Korea. But it'll be interesting to see. I'll have to do more research on them. I honestly haven't kept up with Icon. But could be a good hold. Where is Icon? I'm just curious anyways. They're at 1 billion. They're just fine. They're not struggling at all. Met, thank you. Appreciate that. You mentioned in the past, Patrick asked, you mentioned in the past you don't like IOTA. Can you explain why? Because they're still centralized. Their entire network is running through a coordinator node. And they've been talking about getting rid of that node for 4 years, and it hasn't happened yet. If that node goes down, the entire network goes down. They're still relying on one single node to process the entire network. And that's a big concern. They even have something called Corticide that's supposed to get rid of it. Last I checked, no progress on that. Yaman, thank you for that. Thoughts on Luna? Charles asked. I like Luna a lot. I think they're doing very well. Again, out of South Korea, just like Icon, but created by e-tellers or e-retailers, I should say. And they have a popular app. They actually is in the game of creating stable coins. And they have one for the Korean dollar, for the US dollar. And they have a whole bunch of apps too. And they're in DeFi as well. So Luna is pretty good. It's a pretty good project. I talked about them early on too, before they kind of started pumping. But now they're at $3 billion. They're huge. So Ingredients asked about Dago. Let me just scroll up and make sure. Doing only good every day. Appreciate that. Sally asks, WAN chain and the AMM WAN swap. You know what? I've been meaning to do more research into WanChain because they have completely changed themselves into a DeFi play from a supply chain play. So, yeah, I don't know. I know, what's that one project? Orion Protocol that has been doing really good. They partnered up with WanChain for their atomic swaps. And I know WanChain is coming out their DEX. So we'll have to see. It may be a little bit too late, but it's kind of interesting to see them do a complete transition. I can't comment on Super Farm because I really don't understand NFT yield farming. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So can't comment on that. Someone, Diego Finance. The hell is this? Is the Lego of decentralized world building an ideal decentralized finance ecosystem through diverse combination of NFT plus DeFi? Okay. Kind of interesting. Dividends, governance, dashboard, referral, documents. Binance. What if you click Binance? All right, I don't have time for this to load. Cross-chain NFT plus DeFi protocol infrastructure. Okay. So anyone could mint NFTs, initiate NFT mining. Okay, so that's pretty good. So allows anyone to create NFTs. I've been looking for a good project to create NFTs with. Okay, so it's built with Polkadot. Okay, interesting. Where is it traded at? It's on KuCoin. Nice. So it is on a pretty good exchange. I think the Eagle could be good. I think it could be good, but there's a lot of players in NFTs now, so but it could be good. Do you hate Litecoin because you got stuck with a bag when Charlie dumped? That's a good question. No. I didn't have that much Litecoin to begin with. No, it's just, even besides Charlie, even if you take all this stuff that he did out of the equation, there's just no reason to hold Litecoin. It can't surpass Bitcoin. It can never do that. It doesn't, if you want to make money, you're going to make a lot more money holding Bitcoin than Litecoin. So there's just no reason for it. Sally, appreciate that again. Arweave I covered a little bit. Arweave is interesting. They're trying to make a decentralized web. And because of that, there's a lot of built-in apps. They have like a decentralized email, decentralized blogging platform. And you know what? I was very close to them before. And then I kind of lost track, got back into them again. I found some old tokens I had from the ICO days, which actually paid out pretty well. But they've been hanging around. I forgot the founder's name, but he's pretty active. So they actually seem like they're pretty good. It's just that it's not very sexy. It's not in DeFi or anything right now, but they could easily build a DeFi, DEX on top of it. But right now they're trying to archive the internet. The Wayback Machine, they're working with them to archive the entire internet on their blockchain, which is pretty awesome. What about CNS? What about Akash? Tesla XYZ is here. Akash, I don't know what to think about Akash. They're a cloud. They're decentralized cloud computing. So they want companies to switch from AWS and Azure into Akash. And it seems like the guys who started it, they seem like they're pretty smart. The thing is, it's going to be really, really hard to force companies to come over. Despite the fact there may be a cost advantage, it's cheaper to store on Akash. But I mean, come on, any legitimate company that's running their entire operations on AWS or Azure, they're not going to risk that. So until Akash can really prove that they get a lot of big clients to run with, near perfect uptime and it's great, it's not slow, it's fast, I'm going to stay away from them. What's your thoughts on Safe Haven, who targets digital inheritance with blockchain? Would more people getting rich off these days, and imperative that these values get inherited safely? Yes, that is true. But, you know, I think most people don't think about, all right, I need to pass it on. Most people think about, how do I make more tomorrow? So, I mean, it's an interesting concept, but still, I think you just get a custodian or someone to handle that for you. So I don't know if I trust like a small company like this, and I don't know how it works, to be honest. Even if you gave them your keys and so forth, how's your loved one go get that from them? You know, so I don't know if that's actually a good play. And again, it's one of those projects that's not very sexy. People don't think like, oh, I better invest in a company that could pass my inheritance. You know, no one is thinking about that right now. Orion. I feel Orion may end up being Link of this run. I don't know if it can, but I mean, it's a possibility. It's not the same. Link is different. Link is, you know, obviously in terms of oracles, they dominate, and I think they'll continue to dominate forever. But Orion is aggregating dexes and centralized changes, you know, basically aggregating the liquidity pools from both, and they have a really good trading platform, like a DEX, you know, a non-custodial DEX. And what's great about them is that they are utilizing other chains to their benefit. You know, they just announced that the terminal is going to run on Binance Smart Chain. Also, it runs on Elrond, and they partner up with Holochain, and they partner up with WAN Chain. So they're utilizing those partnerships very, very, very well. Where can I buy Flow in the US? You know, here's the thing. You guys need to, sometimes you just got to look. You go into a project, and Flow is doing pretty well today. Go into market and look. There's a list right here. That's all you need to do. And just try one by one. I can't tell you which exchanges to use, but there's a lot of them. That's how you tell. A lot of you guys, if you don't know how to find where a token is, like if you don't even know how to come to CMC and hit the market tab, let's be honest, then you should not be buying in the first place. There are fundamental things that you should know how to do first before thinking about buying a token. Thoughts on Umbrella? They say there's Chainlink and Polkadot. Well, no. No. I don't like any oracles because they're not reliable like Chainlink. Until one proves that it can piggyback like hundreds of projects and provide solid, reliable data to them, I'm not going to like any of them. Patrick has thoughts on Elrond and Algorand. Someone asked me, because yesterday I was asking why everyone asking about Algorand. It's probably because Curve, a project that they were working with, got bought out by Coinbase. But outside of that, I don't hear much about Algorand. Elrond is good. They have a lot of partnerships. They're working on DeFi, so there's a lot going on with them. How do I access Dapper Dap? Like the name NFTs? I actually don't know. I just know that you do get a wallet when you get when you buy a Top Shot. Well, I missed a whole bunch. Cian says, thanks, George. I appreciate you. See you in Vegas. Got a gambler status. Imagine if we go all to Vegas for that, you know, the conference / drinking party, and then we all end up, you know, at the high rollers table, and then that'll be nuts. There'll be so many people there, right? And then we just dump all of our winnings on black or red or poker. That'll be nuts. I'm just kidding. Leo Deva, thank you for that. Can you suggest some coins to invest $1,000 in right now? Yeah, no, there's too many. But in the top 10, let's just say big caps, I don't think you could go wrong with Bitcoin, obviously. Ethereum, Cardano, Binance Coin, Polkadot, Chainlink. With those, you can't go wrong. Also, a little bit under it, DeFi plays like Uniswap, Aave, Sushiswap, PancakeSwap, they're good. Other ones like Cosmos, Theta. Theta's in 19 now. I didn't even notice that. Theta's on a roll. Solana, VeChain, Terra, Synthetic, the Graph, Elrond, Compound, Sushiswap. These are all good. Okay, that's half. They're all projects I really like. Can you research Phantasma Chain? I have looked into it. It's an NFT play, but I have to do more research on it. How do Futsal asks, how do NFTs work when you sell one of one versus creating multiples? And what is it that you're giving the different buyers? Well, you're just basically transferring a token to them. An NFT just operates on a token. Obviously, when you do one of one, it's more rare than creating multiple. So if you're creating multiple, I believe it's taking multiple tokens. I believe that's the case. I don't believe that you can have multiple copies of one NFT that's occupying one token. That just wouldn't make any sense, right? So you're basically transferring a token to them. That's pretty much it. Any thoughts on Acropolis? AKRO. It sounds very familiar. Oh, I did look into Acropolis. Someone asked me about it before. I thought they looked good until I found out they were hacked before. So this was one of the DeFi projects that was hacked. So after that, I said no. I'm not gonna look at it anymore. Joe says, "Hey George, I got locked up on Coinbase. Apparently, customer service not getting back to me. I'm scared I'm gonna lose 40,000 I've invested in there. What should I do?" You're not gonna lose it, but you have to wait. Someone else had that problem where their account was locked up, and they actually got some email, some high executive, and they emailed them, and then Coinbase got mad and closed their account. But when they close your account, they have to let you withdraw it. So that actually happened. So for other people, I think they've just been waiting and waiting and waiting. So I don't know why your account got locked up, but I would just say keep waiting, keep emailing, keep calling, just be a nuisance, and hopefully you get it back. But this is one of the problems with Coinbase. Their customer service just really sucks. It really sucks. Now, some people argue all customer service for all exchanges sucks, but I mean, some of them that I've tried were really quick. So I don't know. All right. Leo Dave Devta, big fan, brother. Your views on Tron, XRP, Digibyte. You just picked like the three horsemen of shitcoins right there. Tron, I don't know what's going on with them. Justin, Sun, I don't know what he's doing. His marketing ain't working anymore, that's for sure. XRP, still big trouble with SEC. That's not going away. And Digibyte, they're not as bad as the other two, but I don't see them doing anything right now. I think that's it, right? That's it. All right. I'll let you guys go. Overall, Bitcoin is still doing very good. 51,000. I like to see it break above 52,000. Some of the technical indicators look great. And we do have buying on our side. The Bitcoin ETF continues to go up. And there's still a lot of buying overall, right? So let's see. We wake up tomorrow. Bitcoin will be above 52, 53,000. And if it is, then we're on our way to 58,000, breaking a new high. And today, I uncovered, I believe, the truth behind F2Pool. Now, the reason, right, I think it's pretty obvious now, is that because they're desperate, they need to get out. Two of their regions where they operate 5 farms is getting shut down, meaning you can't operate a mining farm there. So it seems like they want to get out right away. But is that entirely the case? What are they doing with that Bitcoin, right? Can't they just transfer it somewhere else? Why do they need to outflow it, right? What's going on with it? Does the CCP have something to do with it? Is some other big entity that has something to do with it? I don't know. Or are they selling it, dumping it? Based on what I said before, they're trying to manipulate the market, or are they trying to sell because they want to use that money to buy mining farms from across the world? At this point, we don't know, right? But as more data comes out, we'll figure it out together. But ultimately, it doesn't matter. We just need to stay strong, continue to course, help each other, buy the dips, hodl, and just wait for life-changing wealth, right? Wait for the gains to come to us. Don't chase it. Just let the gains come to you. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Oscar, thank you for that. You know what? A lot of people have not been asking me about XRP, but you know what? I have this very important message about it. So those of you guys that are not curious, take a look before you go. All right? Bye-bye.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.